All right, so looking at the Unit 4A test review, does anybody need me to work out number 1? Anybody? All right.
I'm good.
Okay, I am going to talk about it because a lot of y'all missed this on the vocab test or quiz, excuse me. If it has 2 terms, it is a binomial, right? And then if it says to find the degree, I need you guys to remember that the degree is just the highest exponent. So for this one, the biggest exponent is at 5 or 3. It should be 5. So you should have gotten represents a polynomial. It's a binomial and has a degree of 5. Are y'all okay with number 1?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So there's 2 of those on your test tomorrow. So we should be good with those. Let's look at this one. Okay, this one, a lot of people missed this on the vocab quiz last week too. So the expression represents these words. So this is not something that we normally teach in Math 1. You'll see this in Math 2 and Math 3. But because you guys are the high class and then Mr. Polk has an honors class, we threw it in there for y'all's test. So if something is raised to the 5th power, if that is the biggest exponent you see, then the polynomial is called quintic. Quin just means 5. Okay? But I wouldn't give you one like that on the test because that's brand new. So what are the ones that are not brand new that you think you might see on the test tomorrow? Y'all gotta talk to me. This is very boring for me if y'all don't talk. And it'll help you remember it if you say it out loud or type it. Which of these 5 words is not new that you might see on your test tomorrow?
Quadratic.
Okay, quadratic means squared. That actually is new. I haven't taught you that yet. So it won't be that one.
Linear.
Linear is not new, so it could be linear. Remember, linear doesn't have an exponent. So you might see like 2x plus 5. That's linear because it looks like mx plus b. Also, what about cubic? What does cubic just mean? That the biggest exponent is a... Come on, y'all. Y'all know what cubed means. I think Paul's got it in the chat. Good job, Paul. Extra credit. So cubic just means the biggest exponent would be 3. This one we said was quintic. How many terms does it have? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Do y'all agree? If you count each
Yes.
thing, perfect. The constant. What is a constant? We're going all the way back to I almost said Math 1, Lord. To week 1. What's a constant? Uh-oh, y'all. I'm going to help you out with this one. I need my other people to speak up too, though, if you want to earn your extra credit. So the constant term is 1. Constant just means it's the plain number, okay? The leading term, you're looking for the biggest one, the one that would be out front if you put it in standard form. So it'd be x to the 5th over 5. And then the leading coefficient, what's understood in front of this x right here? Hello? What's understood in front of this x? X to the 5th, what's understood in front of it? If you can't see anything there, then the number is I think Paul's got it. Paul, you about to earn all the extra credit. Good job, babe. The number in front of the x to the 5th is a 1. So the entire coefficient, the number with this x to the 5th would be 1 over 5. So that's what you guys should have gotten for number 2, okay? Questions on that one before I move on?
No.
Okay. Let's check out number 3. All right, so for number 3, we're just adding. Do you guys need me to do this one, or you want to just check your answer?
I'm pretty sure I got this one right.
Okay, let's just check our answer on this one then. Oh, good, there's another person. So I'm going to show you the solution. So all they did was combine like terms, because look at your sign, we're just adding. So if you do -7 plus -3, you should get -10. And then if you do -10x plus, this is an understood 1x, so -10 plus 1 is -9. And then there's nothing to combine with the -6, so they brought it down. Sound good? All right. Hey, Denia, I'm going to get you to participate because they're really quiet. Paul's mic is broken, and then Kamari's participating. All right, let's see. Did y'all need to see any of these adding or subtracting? I don't really know how to, there we go to problem. So the biggest thing I need y'all to remember on your test tomorrow, when you are subtracting, remember that's like an understood -1, and you have to distribute the subtraction sign first. So if we do that, then we would end up with -4x squared and then -6x. And once you've done that, you can just combine like terms with what's out front. All right, so are there any questions about this one? If you combine like terms, if you do 3x squared minus 4x squared, we should get -1x squared, right?
Yes.
And then if you do -7x and -6x, put those together, that should be -13x.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do y'all need to see any other subtraction ones?
I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna quiz the rest of you. Hey, Shania.
Hey.
Awesome, Paul. I missed you, girl. They're quiet. All right. Just to review, if I ask you something like this, because you're going to see it tomorrow, so I'm giving y'all a heads up that got on the Zoom, so y'all will be prepared. I like to reward y'all for getting up here. So if I ask you to subtract 3x squared minus 2x plus 7 from -5x squared plus 3x minus 1, how would we set that up? What would I do?
You put the second number first and then the first number.
Good job. Extra credit, girl. 2 points extra credit. So the -5x squared plus 3x minus 1 has to go first. And then I'm taking this one away from it. So we write it second. So what Denia just said was we do -5x squared plus 3x minus 1. And then you can subtract the first one. And you put it in parentheses, right? So after you do the parentheses, what do I have to do with this negative sign tomorrow? Can y'all hear me?
Distribute.
Good, Shania. Thank you, girl. So once you put that second one in the parentheses and distribute, then you can just combine your like terms, okay? So do we feel okay with subtraction tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, believe it or not, y'all, my kids usually mess up on the subtraction. Like y'all do the multiplying right, you do the adding right, and then you get to the subtraction and you either forget to distribute, or you mess up one of your signs, or you put it in the wrong order. So just make sure you're okay with the subtraction, okay? All right, let's keep it moving. Does anybody need to see me do this one, or can y'all just check it?
Check it.
Okay, there you go. So they FOILed. If you don't like FOIL, what's the other method you could do for multiplying?
Box.
Perfect. You can do a box. Denai, you getting all the extra credit too, girl. Not that you need it. Are y'all okay with number 5?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Number 6. I feel like we might need to see this one. Just a review. Are y'all okay if I do this one? Oh, jump. I opened up the wrong thing. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to draw. I like to use a box for these because it's 2 times 3. 2 terms binomial times 3 terms a trinomial. So I use a box. Can you distribute on this? That is an ugly box. Holy cow. God, that's bad. That looks like a kindergartner drew it. Can y'all distribute on this one?
No.
You can. Y'all don't remember me showing you? You can't FOIL, but you can take the first one, the X, and distribute it to everything. And then you can take the second one, the -2, and distribute it to everything. But that gets really messy. I don't do well with that. If you like that, you can do it that way on your test tomorrow. You just have to show me work tomorrow, okay? So if you like distributing, you go ahead. I'm not good at doing multiple things at a time. I'm not a great multitasker. So I'm going to do the X minus 2 times 2x squared minus X minus 3. And then I'm going to use the box method and multiply in the overlapping boxes, okay? So do y'all agree 2x squared times x would be 2x cubed? Because now there's 3 x's.
Yes.
Okay, and then -2 times 2x squared would be -4x squared.
Yeah.
And then in this box, we got -x times x, so that would be -x squared. And then we got -2 times -x, which is +2x. And then -3 times x, which is -3x. And then -2 times -3, which is +6. So that's what I got when I multiplied everything. Now remember, your final answer has to be simplified. So is there anything in these boxes that we can combine?
Yeah.
Okay, what? What you see, Shania?
-x squared and -4x squared.
Good job. So what do -x squared and -4x squared make?
4x squared.
Now I'm multiplying. Remember, when you combine them, you're adding. So what's -4 plus -1?
-5.
There you go. So that's going to be -5x squared. Good. And what else can we combine?
-3x to 2x.
So what's -3x plus 2x?
-1x.
Good. And then I don't have anything to combine the 2x cubed with, so I'm going to put that in the front. And then there's nothing to combine the back with either, so it's just going to be +6 at the back. So that should be your answer for number 6. If you didn't get that, I'm going to give you a second to copy that down while I grab my computer charger. So I didn't realize it was about to die. Let's keep it moving. Maybe. Okay, what are we not going to do tomorrow on this one? Half of your class is going to do it. Y'all aren't going to because y'all got on Zoom. What are we not going to do? What can we not do right here?
Distribute.
Yeah, you cannot home rec. Good, Shania. We are not just taking that 2 in. That is not how you do this. So who remembers how we take a binomial and square it? What do we do?
Write it out 2 times.
Good, we're going to write it out twice. So 2x plus y times 2x plus y. All right. Do you guys need to see me multiply this one? Or do we think we could look at what they got? Does anybody need to see me do this one?
No.
Okay, let's look at what they got then. Just make sure you write it out twice. Do not just carry the 2 in, okay? So once you distribute or you box, you should get 4x squared plus 2xy plus 2xy plus y squared. I don't need to see that middle part unless you like writing it out like that for yourself. And then they combined the 2xy plus 2xy and got 4xy in the middle. Are y'all okay with this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving then. Y'all are doing so good. All right. Oh, I just know when I taught y'all this, you remember me saying that half your class would miss it on the test? Maybe if you joined the Zoom and I went over the homework.
I remember.
Yeah, everybody always misses this one because they don't draw a picture. So what are y'all going to do tomorrow?
Draw a picture.
Draw a picture.
Good. Please draw a picture or you're going to, like, you'll just mess up. I know it. It happens every year. So we're going to draw a picture. We know the perimeter is this. So that means when I add up all the sides, this is what it should equal, right? It should equal 10x squared minus 6x plus 24. What did I give you?
The length.
The length. So I know the length is 7x squared minus 2x plus 9. And then this is where everybody messed up on the homework. So y'all knew they gave you the perimeter, which is what it should equal. So it's like I gave you the answer and I gave you one of the parts we add. So to work backwards on the homework, all of y'all subtracted, which was great. But who remembers where we messed up? Nobody? How many lengths do you need to subtract from the total?
2.
There you go. So remember on that homework, a bunch of your classmates didn't subtract 2 of the lengths. You've got 2 of these lengths. So you got to subtract both of them from the total to find each width. Okay? So are you guys okay if we go ahead and double this?
Yes.
All right. So 7x squared and 7x squared. If I double that, what do I get?
14x squared.
Good. All right. And then if we double negative 2x and negative 2x, do y'all agree that's negative 4x?
Yes.
Okay. And then 9 and 9 makes 18. So I am subtracting this whole thing from the perimeter, and that'll tell me what I'm missing for my widths. So what is 10 minus 14?
4.
What kind of 4?
Negative.
Good. Negative 4x squared. All right, then be careful on this next part. I'm going to grab a different color. Negative 6x minus negative 4. What happens when you have minus a negative?
Is plus.
Good. So what is negative 6x plus 4x?
Negative 2x.
Good. And then 24 minus 18 would be?
6.
Good. Good. My people that were in class on Friday, they were missing that one because they were doing 24 minus 18 wrong. So this is what's left for the widths. Now let me ask y'all a question because this is also where people messed up on this homework from last week. How many widths do we have?
2.
2.
2. So what do I have to do with this to find each one?
Divided by 2.
Very good. So if I divide each term by 2, that'll tell me what I should have for just one of the widths, which is what it's asking for. What is the width? So negative 4 divided by 2, does everybody agree that's negative 2x squared?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then negative 2x divided by 2 is negative 1x. Do you have to put the 1?
No.
No, you
No.
just put, good. You just put negative x. Good job, girls. And then what's 6 divided by 2?
3.
Good. That's the width. How could we check ourselves on the test tomorrow?
Add up all the sides.
Good. Put that in as the width. So negative 2x squared minus 1x plus 3. Do it on both sides and then add up all 4 sides and see if you actually get that perimeter I told you it should equal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you got one just like this on the test tomorrow, almost identical. So make sure you're okay with this one. Anybody have questions on this one before I move on?
No.
My girls are good. Paul, Alex, Jordan, y'all okay? All right, I think they're okay. Paul is good. All right, so let's look. We're halfway done. Let's look at number 9. A lot of you, when I looked at your answers, you messed up on this one. So I want to make sure we're okay. This one's actually easier than the one I gave you on homework a week ago. All right, so a rectangle, I'm going to draw it. I would recommend drawing everything tomorrow since it's a test. Has a side length of 10x and a width of 5x. Has a triangle, so I'm going to draw a triangle, cut out of it. So that means the triangle is on the inside. Let's see. The base of the triangle is 3x and the height of it is 10x. All right, so it says find the remaining area. So let's review what they gave us. We're starting with this purple rectangle. So we're starting with that area. So who can tell me what the area of the rectangle should be?
50x.
50, close. How many x's you got?
Oh, 50x squared.
There you go, good. So what you just did, that's what people will do tomorrow to miss this one, okay? Make sure when you're multiplying, if you have 2 x's, that's x squared now because we put them together. But good. So that's the area of the rectangle. How do we find that area of the triangle? That's the inside.
One half base times height.
Good. So 1/2. You're killing it, girl. And then base times the height. What's 3x times 10x?
30x
30
X squared.
squared.
x squared. Very good. Good. All right. So what is 1/2 of 30x squared? Think about it this way. What's 30 divided by 2?
15.
Good. So the area of the triangle is actually 15x squared. So if it says we're taking the triangle out of the rectangle, we're taking it away from it, then what operation do I need to do with these two to find my solution?
That's right.
Good. So y'all, what's 50 minus 15?
45.
Be careful. You just forgot to borrow from your tens place.
35.
There you go. 35x squared. That's your final answer, not 35x. I got to take off if you just put 1x. It's 35x squared. Okay? This is a lot easier than the one I gave you on that homework, though, because remember the one on the homework was binomials. So you had to do a box for the rectangle. Then you had to multiply in a box for the triangle. Then you had to divide it by 2, and then you had to subtract them. So this is actually a lot easier than the ones we were doing. All right. Area, another area. Let's see what we got. Oh, this one's tricky. You guys, a lot of y'all were on Zoom on Friday for the warm-up. So for the warm-up on Friday, do you guys remember how we set this problem up? All right, you should draw it. It's a rectangle. That it looks like a flag. Y'all ignore my drawing, you know it's terrible. So the length of the pool is 3 feet more than 2 times the width. All right. The length, you guys know that's the long piece right here, right? So let's write what they said. 3 more than. So what do I write? 3 what?
Plus.
Good. 2 times the width. Did they tell us what the width was? No,
Mhm.
so are you guys okay if I just make it W since they didn't tell us?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do 3 plus 2 times W. So that is the length. Now, what did you just make the width? What letter did we just use?
W.
So the width is also W. So when we first build our pool, we're like, okay, it's 3 more than 2 times the width, and we don't know what the width is. But then what does it say Will decided to do to his pool?
Add a sidewalk.
Yeah, so he's putting a sidewalk around it, which is probably smart so nobody falls in. And it's going to increase both dimensions by 3. So if I'm increasing these by 3, what does that mean I'm doing to each of these?
Adding 3.
There you go. Good. So if you joined Zoom on Friday, we did one just like this as a warm-up. I was talking about Kamari making a picture frame for his mom for Mother's Day. All right, so the new dimensions, can somebody tell me what the new length would be? Uh-oh. 3 plus 2W plus 3, what does that come out to be? If you simplify.
6 plus 2W.
Uh-huh. 2W plus 6. I couldn't hear. Oh. Okay. And then what's the width end up being?
W plus 3.
Good. All right. So there's the length, there's the width. It says write the expression in standard form for the area. So how do I find area of a rectangle?
Multiply length times.
Multiply.
Good. So multiply. Both my girls, y'all are killing it. Get y'all all the extra credit. 2W plus 6 times W plus 3. Do y'all want me to FOIL or box? Because look at this. This is 2 terms times 2 more. So we either got to FOIL or box it. Which one would y'all like to see this time? FOIL?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hearing everybody say FOIL because I've already done a box. So that's probably the smart decision. All right. Ooh, I'm on a race. There we go. 2W times W. What does that give me?
2W squared.
Good. 2W times 3. What does that give me?
6W.
Good. All right, I'm done with the first and the out. So now we're on inner. What's 6 times W?
6W.
Good. And then what is 6 times 3?
18.
18.
X. Good, y'all. So if we simplify, if we combine like terms, can y'all tell me what the final answer would be?
2W squared plus 12W plus 18.
Plus 18.
Good. Y'all are ready. Everybody at home, everybody else, does that make sense for this one? Because there's one just like this tomorrow. I want to say it's talking about somebody either building a fence or it might be a picture frame again. I can't really remember. But it's just like this. So it'll give you the length. It doesn't tell you the width. So you can make the width W. You can make it X if you wanted to. But then it tells you to increase both dimensions. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to clear this. Hopefully everybody's got it. Let's see. And now we're getting into the factoring, which you guys are usually, y'all seem pretty good with this. All right, so it won't tell you on the test tomorrow, like, you know how Delta Math will tell you up here what types of problems it is?
Yeah.
Doesn't tell you that on the test. Okay, it'll just say question 11 or whatever number it is. So how do we factor a binomial? What do we always look for first, no matter what kind of polynomial it is?
Common factor.
Good, greatest common factor. So y'all, what's the greatest common factor between 16 and 100?
4.
Good, Denia. All right, let me draw. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. So that means we're taking out of 4, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So tell me what would be left when I divide out that 4.
4 and 25.
4x squared minus 25. You killing the game, girl. I'm proud of you. All right, from here, look on the inside. It's still a binomial. So once you take out the GCF, if you still have a binomial, what do you check for now?
Factor.
What kind of factors? It's special. Remember, it's 2 terms. Binomials are special.
Square.
Yes, good. Check to see if they're perfect squares. Is 4 a perfect square?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 times what?
2.
2, which is what
2
makes it
times
a
2.
square. Good. What about x squared? Do y'all agree that would be x times x?
Yeah.
So that one works out too. And then what about 25?
5 times 5.
Okay, so they're all perfect squares. So what's the last thing that has to happen for us to be able to break it apart? Look in the middle. What's got to be in the middle?
The subtract sign.
Good. So we are good to split this one up because they're all perfect squares and it's subtracting. So the 4 on the outside is going to stay, but I can break up the inside. What's going to go in the front of each factor?
2x.
Good, a 2 and an x in the front of each one because that's where they were up here. Good. What goes in the back of each factor?
5.
Good. 5 and 5. And then what kind of signs do we need if it's negative?
A plus and a
Different signs. Good, plus and a minus. So this should be your answer for this one. So from what I saw, half of you are pretty good and half of us are forgetting to take out that GCF first. So make sure you take out that GCF and then you can look for perfect squares, okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so for this one, same. So this one, remember on the test tomorrow, it won't tell you its difference of perfect squares, but this one does say that. So what you want to check for, is it subtracting? Yes. And are they perfect squares? Is 64 a perfect square?
Yeah.
Good. What about 1?
Yeah.
Good. So let's look and see how they split it up. So they said the square root of 64 would be 8 times 8, which is right. 1 would break down into 1 times 1. And then if you had 4 x's, that means 2 and 2, and 4 y's, that would also be 2 and 2. So they got 8x squared y squared plus 1 and 8x squared y squared minus 1. Are y'all okay with that one?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to keep rolling unless y'all got questions. I feel like y'all can do this one. I'm going to let y'all talk me through it. What's the GCF? Because we got to check that first, right?
Yeah.
What's the GCF of 20 and 18?
2.
Yeah, 2. So did you guys take out a 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. So then when you divide by 2, the numbers that are left on the inside would be 10 and 9, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what else do I have to check to pull out though?
The exponent.
Yeah, check the x's. So Shania, how many x's can I take out? How many x's do they have in common?
4.
So they each have 4. You can take out the smallest amount. So they've got, everything has 4. So I can take out 4 x's, which means if I had 5 in the first one, there'd just be 1 right here, right?
Yeah.
And if I had 4 in the second one, but I took them all out, are there any left?
No.
So this would be our answer. Good job, y'all. Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's keep rolling. Some of y'all are like, yes, keep going. We're bored. We're almost done. Do I need to do this one or y'all just want to check the work?
We could just check the work.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up. If anybody needs to see it, let me know. Dang, they show a lot of extra steps. Let me move this so y'all can see it all. So I don't really care if you put this part And y'all know I don't list mine out like that. I divide it. But either way, I told you you could do it this way or the other way. This is the answer you should have gotten though. So if anybody has a question, I'm gonna let y'all check it and then just unmute and ask me.
I'll look at it when I go home. I don't know. Let's see, what did it, what? It's funny because it just moved you.
Denia, you need to tell me it cost me $0.00 to mind my own business because I just got in somebody else's business.
Yeah, her pay for that too, but-
Are y'all
I'll tell
okay
you-
with this one?
I'll tell you when I go home. I'll get that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
let's
not my
keep
birthday
going.
this week. I'll look at it. Okay, I gotta get my bottles. I'll be right
All
back.
right, I am gonna do every single one of these because I want to make sure everybody knows what work they should show. But also, some of us are struggling with these still. So when it is a trinomial, do y'all see how there's 3 terms?
Yes.
So it's a trinomial. You look at the front and the back. They are not going to be perfect squares because it's not a binomial. We're just looking for all factors. Okay, so binomials have to be perfect squares because the 2 middle numbers have to be the same and cancel out. Trinomials, nothing should cancel out. So what does x squared break down into?
X and X.
Good. What are some factors of 8?
2 and 4.
2 and 4, I
Eight.
like it. Go
Eight.
ahead. Sorry. 8 and 1, good.
Okay.
All right, so we look at this sign with this 8. It's negative. So we are trying to pick the pair that will subtract to give us 7. So which pair of factors will subtract to give us 7?
8 and 1.
Good. So we need a x in the front of each one, an 8 in the back of one, and the 1 in the other. Now, this is what y'all have to remember. If we are subtracting, the sign should be different. So to figure out which one's positive and which one's negative, look at our 7 in the middle. It's positive. So if I want a positive 7, which of these should be positive?
The 8.
Good, the bigger one. So the 8 is positive, the 1 is negative. And now if I multiplied it, remember you can always check these with a box or foil. If you multiply this back out, x times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. 8 times x is positive 8x. And then 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. So then if you simplify, you do get plus 7x in the middle. Does everybody see that? Which is what we started with.
Yeah.
So this is your answer. But if it was me tomorrow, I'd be checking every single one of these with a box or foil to make sure it works out. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'm almost done. Y'all are doing so good. Factor trinomials. Let's see. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. Make sure you remember what you're looking for on these. So they have all of them with x and x. So I'm not even going to worry about that part. What are my factors of 5?
1.
5 and 1. Good. Now, if I subtract 5 and 1, am I ever going to get 6?
No.
No. So I think a lot of your classmates picked A because they saw 5 and 1. If you add them, because they're both positive, they'll make 6. But this one's not telling us to add. It's a negative 5. So 5 and 1 will never subtract to give us 6. So the answer is no solution. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We are almost done.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do.
It is pretty.
All right. So the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 9 more than the longer leg. Y'all can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. All right. I'm going to draw it. Hypotenuse of a right triangle. So let's draw it out. The hypotenuse is 9 more than the longer leg. Do they tell us what the longer leg is?
No.
No. So what do you guys want to make it? If they don't tell you what it is, you can make it whatever you want.
L.
L? That sounds good. 9 or L for daggone, I can't talk. L for long. That's good. All right. 9 plus L. Because 9 more than means plus, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. The shorter leg is 5 less than the longer leg. Remember, less than means we take the longer leg and subtract 5. So this is where what Denia told us earlier, the order. If it says it's 5 less than, that's the same as saying take 5 away from the longer leg. Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now this should say longer leg. He just made a typo. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it earlier until now. They told us the perimeter is 49. They want us to find the length of the longer leg. So they want this L right here. So how could we solve this for L if we know the perimeter is 49? What could we do?
Add everything.
Okay, we could add it all up, set it equal to 49, right?
Yeah.
Good. Some of your classmates I saw on their work paper that they actually just guessed and checked. I'm okay with that too, as long as you show me your work. Do y'all know what I mean by guess and check?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just plug in numbers for L until you get it to add up to 49. That's also fine with me. But I'm going to set it up like this so I can show you how you would set it up, okay? So if I add all 3 sides, we know that it should equal 49 because perimeter is 49. So what's 9 take away 5, y'all?
4.
Good.
4.
And then how many L's do I have right here?
3.
3.
So this is going to be 3L plus 4 equals 49, right?
Yes.
All right. So now, how do I solve this equation for L? This is going all the way back to the first week of school.
Draw your wall.
Uh-huh. What do I do next?
Subtract 4 from both sides.
Good job, girl. Subtract 4. 49 minus 4 is what, y'all? 45?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So 3L equals 45. So what should that L equal? How do I get the L by itself?
Divide by 3 on both sides.
Good. So what is 45 divided by 3?
15.
Very good. So the length of the longer leg should be 15. If for some reason they did ask for the hypotenuse or the shorter leg, you would just go plug 15 in. So 15 minus 5, what's the shortest leg going to be?
5.
10, good. And then 9 plus 15 would be what?
24.
Good. So then if you add it up to check it, if I add up 15 plus 24 plus 10, that does give you 49. So we know we did it right. So you can also check yourself on this one. Plug it in, add them all up, okay? Hopefully y'all are right in this, or you'll go back and watch it later and write it down so you can use it on your test tomorrow. All right, last one. Right on. Let's see. Oh, I shouldn't need to do this one. We had one just like this in a warm-up. So this is the area of a rectangle. Then the second one is the area of a square, and it says find the expression that represents the combined area. What does it mean to combine?
Add.
Yeah, we're just adding the 2 areas. You're not multiplying. If it says combine, you're just adding. So what is 9x squared plus 5x squared?
14x squared.
Good. I like how you said x squared. Make sure you don't add the exponents. We're not multiplying. We're just adding. So keep the base. Negative 30x plus negative 5x.
Negative 35x.
Good. And then 2 plus 7.
9.
No.
Perfect. So that would be your answer for the last one, number 18. Do y'all feel like you're ready for your test tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, if you feel good, I want you to go ahead and go, like, start studying, work out some problems, whatever. If you have